In psychology, there's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is a phenomenon where people who know very little about a topic overestimate their knowledge of said topic. Aristotle once said, "The more you know you don't know." And Patrick Starr eloquently described the inverse. Dumb people are blissfully unaware of how dumb they really are. But even smart people fall into this trap. One subject where I've seen the Dunning-Kruger effect in practice very often is China. Let's take this map of China, something I've seen shared by at least one person who has a PhD. And I know that a lot of people are trolling, but I've seen this map and similar maps being used unironically too. I've seen people claim on the internet that China colonized all the places that are shown as not China on this map. You can see there's something off about this map. It's like it was made with the intention of making Chinese people angry. We've got China, Manchuria, Tibet, Cantonia, Hokkien, Republic Hong Kong, and Goetsu, whatever that is, and more. It's a pretty stupid map, but I want to use it to illustrate just how massive China's population is. If all of these countries declared independence, several of them would be among the most populous countries in the world. 5 of them would be in the top 20, and 3 would be in the top 5. Let's start with China. Whoever made this decided to make China a really weird shape. It has a population of 375 million, which is less than a third of China's current population, but still more people than the United States. Beijing would be the capital and the largest city. It consists of the provinces of Hebei, Shanxi, Gansu, Hubei, and Hunan, the autonomous region of Ningxia, part of the autonomous region of Inner Mongolia, and the municipalities of Beijing, Tianjin, and Chongqing. It borders Manchuria, Inner Mongolia, East Turkestan, Tibet, Cantonia, Hokkien, and Goetsu. I have no idea why the creator of this map decided to give Ordos and Wuhai to China instead of Inner Mongolia. Next, we have Goetsu. Now, I can guarantee you that if you ask someone from Shanghai if they identify as Chinese or Goetsuese, they'd have no idea what you're talking about. Goetsu comes from the Japanese word for Wuyue, a small kingdom that existed in China during the 10th century. Now, a Redditor has made his own map of Goetsu, so I'll just show you that. Goetsu would have 436 million people, according to my calculations, but this guy puts it as 410 million. Either way, it's the largest breakaway country on this map. It includes the provinces of Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Anhui, Shandong, and Henan, along with the municipality of Shanghai. Nanjing would be the capital, and Shanghai would be the largest city. Goetsu would border China and Hokkien. We also have Cantonia, with over 280 million people. Its population is comparable to Indonesia. The capital and largest city would be Guangzhou, which used to be called Canton. Despite the name Cantonia, less than half of people who live here can speak Cantonese. The most famous Cantonese-speaking city in the world, Hong Kong is not part of Cantonia for some reason, and is instead part of the Republic Hong Kong. This one is a little bit less ridiculous than Goetsu, as there are some people who would support an independent Cantonese state, even if it's not very many people. The provinces included are Guangdong, Guizhou, Yunnan, and a small part of Sichuan, along with the autonomous region of Guangxi. I'm assuming that Macau is included, but I'm not 100% sure. Cantonia would border Hokkien, China, Tibet, Republic Hong Kong, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. Hokkien is the name for Fujian in a local dialect. Here we have Fujian combined with Jiangxi to form Hokkien, which will have a population of over 86 million, comparable to Iran. Fuzhou would be the capital and Quanzhou would be the biggest city. I don't know if the Kinmen and Matsu Islands are supposed to be in Hokkien or Taiwan, though. Hokkien would border Goetsu, China, Cantonia, and would be across the strait from Taiwan. Manchuria is a combination of Liaoning, Jilin, and Heilongjiang. It has a population of over 98 million, similar to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Shenyang would be the capital and the largest city. This is the largest of the 4 countries made for minority groups in China shown on this map. However, only 7.6% of people who live in Manchuria are ethnically Manchu. Manchuria would border Korea, Russia, Inner Mongolia, and China. I've lived in Manchuria, and I never met anyone who didn't consider themselves Chinese who lived there. Tibet has been expanded quite a bit. It would have over 84 million people, similar to Turkey. I think Lhasa would be the capital, but Chengdu would be the largest city by far. It includes the Tibet Autonomous Region along with Qinghai and most of Sichuan. Only 6.8% of the population would be Tibetan, and the city of Chengdu alone has more people than there are ethnic Tibetans all over the world. If the maker of this map had stuck with Qinghai and maybe a small part of Sichuan, Tibetans would still be the majority or plurality of the population. While there are people in Tibet who don't want to be part of China, the vast majority of the population of this hypothetical country would live in Sichuan. Tibet would border China, East Turkestan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Cantonia. Inner Mongolia is missing Ordos and Wuhai. It has over 22 million people, similar to Mali. Hohhot is the capital and Baotou is the largest city. Mongols make up only 18% of the population. Even if you combined it with Mongolia, which is a separate country in this map, Han Chinese would still be the clear majority. Xinjiang has become East Turkestan. There really aren't any changes to the borders here. Urumqi is the capital and largest city. It has almost 26 million people, about 45% of whom are Uyghur. While not the majority, Uyghurs do form a plurality here, with Han being a close second, and Kazakhs and Hui being a distant third and fourth. The population is comparable to Australia. Then there's Republic Hong Kong. Its population of 7.4 million is similar to Paraguay. It's just Hong Kong, not much more to say. Mongolia and Taiwan are Mongolia and Taiwan. Once again, not much to say. Korea has reunified, though, hopefully under the real Korea. What do you think about the map? Agree? Disagree? Which of these countries would you want to live in? Leave a comment to let me know.